So let's look at the basic knee cut pass first then, and like I said, then we'll look at a few different things from around it. So let's just say that I'm already out of my partner's legs and he's laying on his back, got his legs up in the air, trying to defend his the guard pass. So I like to enter into the knee cut by putting myself into the headquarters first and really like getting a good set base. I'm a big fan of checkpoints. So when I'm passing my partner's guard, finding points in that guard pass where I can kind of just stop and hold and make sure that I don't, most of the time, don't have to take a step back. Just hold that into that position, keep it nice and solid. Headquarters is one of those positions. So to get into it from the outside, I like to control the feet on both sides. So right at the end of the lever, so I have control over. The problem with holding a little bit too far up the leg is that he still has the control and the rotation of the lower part of the limb. So we're going to control both at the feet. Then I'm going to take a nice big, so from an angle, little step out to the side, and then angle, we're going to drive that shin in nice and deep so we take away the ability for him to get the De La Riva. Now, two main grips or positions that we can get with the hands here. This one is going to go to the knee. This one can go to the hip like we just drilled, but I also like this as well because it enables me to attach myself to my partner. When we're on the outside, if we've got the connection of the feet, we always want to disconnect away from that first for us to be able to then get to the inside. Once I'm on the inside, now it's all about the connection. So placing the hand on the hip is going to do a job of making sure that he's not able to move his hips quite as well, not able to turn onto his side. But I like this grip on the collar because it enables me to attach myself to my partner. So if he tries to get rid of me, I'm able to keep myself in nice and close and keep the pressure. We're going to place the hand to the knee. We're going to move ourselves with that footwork again off to the side and cut in. Using our elbow to try and make sure that this knee cut can't come in. Now, obviously that is going to happen sometimes. His knee cut's going to come in. We're going to look at one way that we can deal with that in a minute, but we want to try to keep that knee to the outside so it gives us that space for our hips to go through. Hips are going to push in, so pressure is going to be key in this position. If I'm just sitting out here, I'm just giving him all the space he wants to be able to push and create that space again. I want to make sure there's no space for him to work, so I'm leaning my body in. Here's one of the checkpoints. At the checkpoint, I need to find all the different things that I want to get. Underhook is definitely one of those. So we're going to circle the arm under. If for whatever reason I can't get the underhook, I can use this elbow to drive to the floor, just to make sure that he's not able to get the underhook. But ideal scenario, I'm able to circle through and get the underhook. If possible, overhook here is going to be important, so that he's not able to turn himself onto his side. So over the top of the arm, his wrist into my armpit, and we're going to pull up. If I don't have that, as I start to pass through, he's able to start moving his hips and again create space. So if I come over, this is going to help to keep him flat. I personally like the head position here, into the side of my partner's jaw. So that again, if he tries to turn in towards me, I've got that pressure with my head. It's really important at this position that we don't just turn. If I just turn, I'm giving him a load of space for him to start bringing the knee in. Oh, no, that leg back. Sorry. I'm going to surf. So my knee is going to push away from my partner, and I'm going to create pressure with my hips to his hips. Once that knee has slid up over the top, I'm going to use my hips and back up and towards my partner, so it kills and pushes his hips off to the opposite side. Then when I'm ready, I'll move myself nice and tight through into the side control. The problem with me just surfing through here, and again then just turning in, because of the position of his hips, it's quite easy for him to shrimp and start with his, oh, got some super Harris moves there. But if he shrimps and brings that, there we go, look, straight away he's able to bring those legs to the inside. So, we're going to start from the outside. Grab the toes, big deep step in, good posture, good sit on top of the leg here. We don't want to be leaning forwards because he's just going to kick us in the butt and we're going to get off balance. So good, nice and heavy sitting down on the foot. If you like this that's fine. I personally like this grip here, so I stay attached. Hand goes to the knee, we're gonna move across, trying to keep the, I mean, nut shots are all good. All good. I mean, it helps with the guard pass, of course.
Great in comp.
So, in, oh, I was keeping those hips tight then, right?
You
will. Underneath the arm for the underhook, overhook, wrist goes into my armpit, and like I said, I like to use my head into his jaw. I'm gonna surf, so look at my knee. My knee's gonna go away from the body to get my hips low. Soon as I let go of his leg, I'm now gonna walk my hips back into my partner's hips. Kill it, and then down, nice and tight into the side control. Let's try that again.
Hold it right on the pipe.
Is pipe allowed on YouTube? I'm not sure if it is it?
Yeah.
So, here, into position. Make your grip, hand to knee, move across, and block. Underhook, overhook. Use your head as pressure into the side of the jaw. Now look at my knee, it surfs away, hips heavy, there's no space between me and him. As soon as we drop off, we're now going to start to walk back in. Use your knee inside the legs to help keep those hips pinned. And then, when you're ready, move up. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, dude. All right, good. So let's just quickly look at if he does manage to get the knee shield in. Now, there's a bunch of different ways that we can deal with that knee shield if he brings the knee shield in. We're gonna go for like the basic of the basic. In another class later on in the week, we're going to look at some passes that we can do off of if they're just keeping that knee shield in and we're not able to get rid of it with our basic way. So he's got his feet up in the air, same entry. We're going to control the feet, come at the angle, step in nice and deep, real nice and heavy. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make the grip. We're going to push on the knee. And as we move across, I just haven't kept that elbow tight enough and he's managed to bring the knee shield in. So I know we talked about not wanting to go back, and none of us want to go back, but sometimes we have to make the pass work. Right? If I try to just keep knee cutting from here, as if I do even manage to get the knee cut, I'm just too far away from my partner's body, and there's going to be too much space for them to work with. So sometimes taking that little step back is going to help us complete the pass. So what I'm going to do is, instead of staying on the inside of the knee, I'm going to go to the outside of the knee. And I'm going to drive with my fist into his chest. I'm going to go back to that squat position in the middle. Now I'm going to make sure I do the job right. I'm going to use my elbow against his knee. And then as I come back across, I'm going to make sure that I block it back. So again, we're originally here. As I move across, I didn't do my job properly. I gave him that little bit of space for that knee shield to come in. Change to the bottom of the knee. We're going to push into the chest and we're going to go back to the squat position in the middle. Now I'm going to do my job right. I'm going to put that elbow in position. So when he tries to bring that knee across, my elbow does the job of keeping that knee back. Then it's all the same stuff. We go underhook, overhook, surf through heavy, move back, kill the hips. So it's simple, but it's important that we understand that, because sometimes we get like laser focus on, right, I have to get the pass. Sometimes we have to take that step back to go forwards. So we move ourselves into the headquarters, make the grip, I move across. I did a poor job at blocking. So I change to the outside of the knee, drive back, use my elbow properly this time, and now drive back through. Underhook, overhook, head pressure, surf through, block the hips off, through. Obviously there's lots of other passes that we can do when we kill the hips like that, but let's keep it nice and simple and look for the side control. So let's do the same drill, this time let them get the knee shield in, go back a step to go forwards. 1, 2, 3, let's do it. All right, so one thing that can be a real pain when we're trying to go for this knee cut, not necessarily the fact that it's gonna end up stopping us getting the pass, but it's gonna annoy us to the fact that we can't get the pass as soon as we want. So we've put ourselves into position, we've gone for this knee cut, and as I'm starting to go for this knee cut in position, like he ends up just trapping and he's like holding on to that foot for dear life. What a pain in the backside this is, or can be. So let's look at, I'm going to just show you like 3 or 4 different ways that we can deal with like getting this foot free. Probably the simplest one, but make sure that you're not kind of overbalancing to the far side, is just using your second foot. So as I'm trying to come through, make sure that our weight is good and solid off to the side that we are, and we use our foot onto their top leg. We push their top leg up, drop the foot through, and then we do the same as before. So, second one, we're gonna bring our knee across to the far side. So I'm gonna stay nice and heavy, and I'm gonna bring my knee across into this quarter guard position. So we have a couple of different options here. Number one option, I can repass to the same side, but I can do it with a little bit more force this time. So not quite so slow, not quite so pressured. I can re-lift my hips up and I can shoot through nice and quick to the far side because it gives me that little bit more momentum. Another option, we're gonna go double unders. Lots of pressure forwards. We're going to use this foot, we're going to use the instep just to place into the second leg, and we're going to pry the legs open and through into the mount position. Or, if we get these double unders, another nice option is to put my head down to the far side. Lift the hips, and we're going to knee cut on the opposite side. We're going to use that shin to push back into my partner's legs till the leg comes free, and through for the pass. So again, come through, we've got ourselves into the knee cut, but he's just hanging on for dear life. In class, it's not a huge deal, but in a tournament, there's a minute left and we need to pass, he's hanging on for dear life, just to make sure I'm able to get the points on the board. So again, head down, hips away, use the top, the foot to kick the top knee off, through for the pass. Grabs the foot, we're going to switch across to the opposite side. So we can go re-up and then shoot through a bit quicker, nice and fast. Or we're going to go double unders. Walk those arms up, lots of head pressure, like tripod forwards. Use your foot, pry the legs apart, and set into mount for the pass and the mount points. Or, if we've got the underhook on this far side, switch the head down to the side that we're going, lift the hips, drive your knee cut down on the far side. Use your shins to push the legs back, bring your leg free, turn in, and get the pass. So a couple of real nice options. I'm sure you've all had it, where you're going for that pass, trying to get it, and it's just hanging on for it, dear life. Couple of options to deal with it. 1, 2, 3, let's do it.